What's going on today? This is David again. Just going to bring you another video. This is going to be the Vineyard, the Wild Grapes, Part 8. Be sure if you haven't seen Parts 1 through 7 to start at Part 1 and go all the way through. We're just going to continue discussing the wild grapes, the Israelites who are disobedient, and their judgments and how these judgments come upon them, and what you're seeing with our people today, who are the true Israelites. If the Israelites decide to do their own thing and they break away from the Holy Covenant, which is by blood, the sword follows them and punishments, which is detailed in a lot of the scriptures here, which I'm breaking down. A lot of the Israelites are going to lose their lives, especially in the end, because they did not keep this word. And they didn't believe the men that the Lord sent at them to wake them up to it so they can go sit down and do what they're supposed to do. First and foremost, give all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Give all praise to you, lost sheep of the house of Israel, and mankind who fears God. The vineyard, the wild grapes. Let's read. Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 1 through 27. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron, and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart, and upon the horns of your altars. Right. Vanity. Notice he says, a pen of iron. You love your sin. You like living like the Romans and the people that are around you. And the point of a diamond, it's graven upon your heart. You will not let these things that you've learned here go. Whilst their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills. That's right, the high hills, the big mountains. O my mountain in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil. That's right. And thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders. Right. Now you're just spoiled wherever you are. All your substance is gone. Your enemies have taken everything from you. You have nothing because you won't let go of these ways that you've learned in your captivities. And when you hear this truth, you don't listen. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. Right. The heritage that he gave thee, this blood covenant, you're going to discontinue from it. So the real Jews in the earth, in the end, will have to be told who they are. They will not know that they're the Israelites. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. Right. You serve your enemies today. You have no substance. You are the laborers. You're the athletes. You're the entertainment. You are the carcass that they pick on for flesh. Let's read. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Right. It's going to keep burning until you come back. So the Lord's going to wake up his remnant, and the rest of the wild grapes, they're going to get the winepress. Let's read. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Right, you start trusting in the men of your captivity, and your heart is departed from your God. You don't want to let go of your pagan customs, the ways of this nation. So cursed is that man, wild grape. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, right, no water. If you got a man like this and you're an Israelite woman or woman in general, you're going to be in trouble with him. And shall not see when good cometh, right? You don't know that this is the good news. He doesn't understand it. He rejects it. But shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness and in the salt land and not inhabited. That's right. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, in whose hope the Lord is. That's right. The man that trusteth in the Lord, in whose hope the Lord is. We know what matters in this life. We know and understand it. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters. Which waters is he talking about? We'll get to that. and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh. Right, the Lord's gonna redeem you from the fire. But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought. Right, these men are gonna be prudent men. They're not gonna be. Uh, they're gonna be like Joseph. They're not gonna have a problem in the famine. The other man is. He doesn't know the word of the Lord. Let's read. And the other women, they're going to be starving to death, and their families. You reject wisdom. Neither shall cease from yielding fruit. Right. You're going to keep learning more mysteries, more understanding of the book, because you're planted by the waters. Let's read. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings. As the partridge sitteth on eggs, and hatches them not, so he that getteth riches, and not by right, shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at his end shall be a fool. That's right. You didn't get your riches the right way. You got the wrong riches. So you're going to lose your life early, in the midst of your days. That's right. How many rappers and athletes have you seen who had riches the wrong way, who were stumbling upon the dark mountain, who lose their life in their young years? They die a fool. Let's read. A glorious high throne from the beginning is the place of our sanctuary, right? A glorious high throne from the beginning. Who talks about the throne in the beginning? Right? Enoch. That's right. The throne of the Lord. Let's read. It's the place of our sanctuary. We learn it from the beginning. O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed. And they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living waters. Right? You're going to be written in the earth. You're going to have your celebrity here. You're going to maybe have a church. You're going to be a big man here. You've forsaken this fountain. You don't know what the fountains are. You haven't studied it from the beginning. You don't understand. So anyone that's listening to you, you're leading them to death. And you're gonna have your remembrance here. People are gonna flock to you. They're gonna like you, right? Nobody likes the real prophets of the Lord. They're not hanging out with them. They don't want to be around them. They don't like them. Let's read. Remember that. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. Behold, they say unto me, Where is the Lord? Where is the word of the Lord? Let it come now. As for me, I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow thee, neither have I desired the woeful day. Thou knowest, that which came out of my lips was right before thee. Be not a terror unto me, thou art my hope in the day of evil. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. Right. Jeremiah wants to see the people who are persecuting him with double destruction. The day promised, the day of evil, which is talked about in the book of Enoch, which is talked about somewhat in the books of Adam and Eve. The day of evil. There is an evil time ordained for you wild grapes. And right now you're just seeing the smoke screen of it. It's going to get so bad here. One day, when this evil kicks off, the Lord's going to send in his sickle to reap the winepress. Let's read. Thus saith the Lord unto me, Go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Judah come in, and by the which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem, and say unto them, Hear ye the word of the Lord, ye kings of Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates. Thus saith the Lord, take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring in by the gates of Jerusalem. Right? Don't do nothing on the Sabbath day. Our people, back then, they were focused on labor, trying to earn. Neither carry forth a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day, neither do ye any work, but hallow ye the Sabbath day as I commanded your fathers. But they obeyed not, neither inclined their ear, but made their necks stiff, that they might not hear nor receive instruction. And it shall come to pass, if ye diligently hearken unto me, saith the Lord, to bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Sabbath day, but hallow the Sabbath day, to do no work therein, then shall there enter into the gates of this city kings and princes sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses, they and their princes, the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and this city shall remain forever. Right. It has to do with how much you consider the Lord. No work. Nothing worldly, no work. Don't lift a brick. Relax. Take a nap. Go to sleep. Eat food that you've already had prepared. Your heart is not considering what you're doing. You don't think it's anything. Just because you can't see the Lord with your eyes, you don't know that our eyes have been stricken because of Adam and the sin that got him kicked out of the garden. We can't see the angels anymore, but they can see you. Let's read. And they shall come from the cities of Judah, and from the places about Jerusalem, and from the land of Benjamin, and from the plain, and from the mountains, and from the south, bringing burnt offerings and sacrifices and meat offerings and incense, and bringing sacrifices of praise unto the house of the Lord. But if you will not hearken unto me to hallow the Sabbath day, and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then will I kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched. That's right. Jeremiah chapter 18, verses 1 through 23. The word which came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Arise, and go down to the potter's house, and there I will cause thee to hear my words. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So he made it again another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make it. Then the word of the Lord came to me, saying, O house of Israel, cannot I do with you as this potter? That's right. He created you. You are from the line of the righteous. The Israelites were created by the Heavenly Father. You're his creation. So he can do whatever he wants to do with you. He made you a certain way. He made a covenant with you. Saith the Lord, behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in mine hand, O house of Israel. That's right. You are bound to this. The wild grapes don't listen, though. At what instant I shall speak concerning a nation, and concerning a kingdom to pluck up, and to pull down, and to destroy it. If that nation against whom I have pronounced turn from their evil, I will repent of the evil that I thought to do unto them. And at what instant I shall speak concerning a nation, and concerning a kingdom to build and to plant it, if it do evil in my sight, that it obey not my voice, then will I repent of the good wherewith I had said I would benefit them. That's right. Now therefore go to speak to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I frame evil against you, and devise a device against you. Return ye, Now, every one from his evil way, and make your ways and your doings good. That's right. Change your way. You were created for good. You continue in your evil and sin against the covenant, you're going to get crushed. And they said, there is no hope, but we will walk after our own devices. And we will every one do the imagination of his evil heart. Right? You're stumbling upon the dark mountains. You think because you're not rich, you don't have money, there's no hope. That's what the Israelites do today. You use money as a justification, but you still have nothing. Let's read. You're still the bottom of the totem pole. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, ask ye now among the heathen, who hath heard such things. The virgin of Israel hath done a very horrible thing. Will a man leave the snow of Lebanon, which cometh from the rock of the field? Or shall the cold flowing waters that come from another place be forsaken? Cold flowing waters. That's right. Because my people have forgotten me, they have burned incense to vanity. And they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient paths, to walk in paths in a way not cast up. That's right. You turned away from the ways of the ancient, to make their land desolate in a perpetual hissing. Everyone that passes thereby shall be astonished and wag his head. Right. That's how these nations look at you Israelites in the ghettos, the projects. They go over to Africa, they strip you of everything, and now they just wag their head at you. Using you, destroying you, and you destroy yourselves with your sin. You look like the wild grapes are like degenerates. They don't want to listen, and they just look terrible, showcasing all their filth and abominations to the world. So the nations just wag their head at you. Let's read. I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy. I will show them the back and not the face in the day of their calamity. Then said they, come, and let us devise devices against Jeremiah, for the law shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words. Right, that's right. They want to kill Jeremiah. They think that their priests, the Israelites, who are constantly in sin, these priests, their prophets, you think these people are profitable to you. They don't want to listen to Jeremiah, who the Lord sent Jeremiah. The Israelites want to kill Jeremiah, but they want to hearken to the wicked priests who are the gates, the reason you're being destroyed. You do it today. Even in Israel, you will hearken to someone who's given themselves their self-proclaimed name, vain attire, and you will listen to them. But you're still being persecuted. That's not the command. Jeremiah is the voice. Recompense for good, for they have digged a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee and let their men be put to death. Let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. That's right. You Israelites of the Lord, because you know thine anger, right? The appointed time for the generation. That's right. The appointed time for the generation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's get it. Jeremiah chapter 19, verses 1 through 15. Thus saith the Lord, go and get a potter's earthen bottle, and take of the ancients of the people, and of the ancients of the priests, and go forth unto the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is by the entry of the east gate, and have burned incense in it unto other gods, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of the innocents, just like you do today. They have built also the high places of Baal to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it into my mind. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that this place shall no more be called Tophet, nor it's going to be like slaughter. And so will I break this people in this city, as one breaketh the potter's vessel, that cannot be made whole again, and they shall bury them in Tophet till there be no place to bury. Thus will I do unto this place, saith the Lord, and to the inhabitants thereof, and even make this city as Tophet. And the houses of Jerusalem and the houses of the kings of Judah shall be defiled, as the place of Tophet, because of all the houses upon whose roofs they have burned incense unto all the hosts of heaven, and have poured out drink offerings unto other gods. Then came Jeremiah from Tophet, whether the Lord had sent him to prophesy, and he stood in the court of the Lord's house, and said to all the people, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will bring upon this city and upon all her towns all the evil that I pronounced against it, because they have hardened their necks, that they might not hear my words. That's right. So there is the wild grapes. They don't listen to the prophets that are sent to them. They want to keep living by the ordinances of the land of their captivity. They don't hearken to the true men of the Lord. They do not study the word of the Lord, so they have no water, and they get destroyed for it. They just get destroyed for it. Let's get it. Let's go to Micah chapter 7. That's right. hmm Verses 1 through 20. Woe is me, for I am as when they have gathered the summer fruits, as the great gleanings of the vintage. There is no cluster to eat. My soul desired the first striped fruit. Right. There's no cluster to eat of our people. That's right. The good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net. That's right. Yep, all your brothers nowadays, they're all hunting you. They want to be sports agents. They want to be rap label CEOs, the net. They want to send you, get money off of you from your oppressor, and they want to kill you, man. These gangbangers, all this nonsense with our people. They may do evil with both hands earnestly. The prince asketh, and the judge asketh for reward, and the great man, he uttereth his mischievous desire. So they wrap it up. Right. The people are corrupt. Right. The best of them is as a briar. The most upright is sharper than a thorn hedge. The day of thy watchmen and thy visitation cometh. Now shall be their perplexity. Right. Our people don't know what's going on out here. Thy visitation cometh this generation. Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. For the son dishonoreth the father, the daughter riseth up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. That's right. Therefore I will look unto the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Let's go to Revelation real quick. The Winepress. That's right. Revelation chapter 14. Start at verse 1. That's right. Hold on one second. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne. That's right. And before the four beasts and the elders, and no man can learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Right, these men are going to be saved. The 144, you got to know them, and they got the new song. These are they which were not defiled with women. They weren't involved in false religious belief, the woman's spirit, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. Right, the 144,000. They follow their Lord's counsel wherever it's at. So anyone that's knocking this, they're not of the elect. They're not of the righteous, holy, and elect, and I'll get to that. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. Right? These men are perfect. They are white, clean from sin. They are redeemed. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, to every kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of waters. Right, the sea, what sea are you talking about? The sea that makes you clean. That's in the first book of Adam and Eve. And then the fountains of waters. Let's get that real quick. Book of Enoch, chapter 48, verse 1. And in that place I saw the fountains of righteousness, which was inexhaustible. And around it were many fountains of wisdom. That's right. Many fountains of wisdom. And all the thirsty drank of them, and were filled with wisdom. And their dwellings were with the righteous and holy and elect. Right. So anyone who's not dealing with the fountains of many waters, they are not part of that congregation. Righteous, holy, and elect. And the sea and the fountains of waters. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or on his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahushua. That's right. These are they who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahushua, Hamashiach. Right? So when you hear Christians, your Sunday school teacher telling you you don't have to keep the commandments, he's a liar. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. Right. Blessed are they who die in the Lord from henceforth, resting from your labor. Right? Those people are blessed. Everyone else is not blessed. And that your works follow you. So the work you've done on earth concerning the word of the Lord and the fountains, it follows you in your death. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. That's right. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which was in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. You Israelites, the winepress. That's right. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. That's right. You Israelites, you're going to get the winepress. That's the judgment for the wild grapes who don't believe in the fountain of many waters, who don't follow the Lamb wherever he goes, who are false prophets, false bakers, who don't keep the commandments and ordinances by their heritage and their bloodline, that they are an Israelite. This sword follows you, and you are not blessed if you are not laboring at the word and keeping your Lord's commands. Let's give all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and all praises to you, lost sheep of the house of Israel, and mankind who fears God. Shalom.